Welcome back to the channel. We're just hopping in this video because I currently starts off 7 years ago, New York. By the way, I'm not doing this because I restart this video like a lot of times. This is my second time restarting it because I said something completely out of hand. But we're not gonna get into that. Anyway, so we're starting off. This is New York. This is low key Los Santos, but I just made it a little rainy and put it in the like city parts of Los Santos, and I only took like right pictures because I did not want to take all my palm trees. Then you'll be like, there ain't no palm trees in New York. But yeah, this takes place 7 years ago, New York City. He's escaping the cops. I'll skip a little forward, episode 1. This is supposed to be a TV show, by the way, just in case you didn't know. And then we turned it into a movie. So we're gonna skip a little backwards because currently this don't even really do this because it keeps missing the time marks. There we go. Perfect. Anyway, as you can see, I'm running down. And then, this is still 7 years ago. Still 7 years ago, by the way. He takes a train and he's heading to Los Angeles. I was about to call it Los Santos because I'm so used to GTA. But nah, he's taking it to Los Santos. Taking it, you know, there's Los Santos. He's low-key trying to say, but I'm not the best, okay? I'm not the newest. This is my first official movie posted on you know, this whole thing. So right here, he gets back from he's in like Los Angeles now. He's officially there, and he's got to steal a car. So he shoots himself over. There's a whole plot. There's a whole plot. So he shoots himself over, and then he grabs that nice looking car, and he's gotta kill down this guy. So he's chasing him around Los Santos. So I'm driving. Look at those driving skills. Look at that camera work. You guys pot right there. Hits that corner. Look at the camera work that I did. By the way, this wasn't an easy movie. It took like months and months of developing because I was the only one on it. I'm the only one doing all these movies, so no one's helping me. I'm doing all this by myself. That's why this is taking a little longer because I gotta call girl voice actors stuff for the next movie. That's why that ain't coming out this year. That's coming out next year. Anyway, you see him shooting. By the way, fun fact, I shot him in his head and like he didn't die until he spawned. He spawned in a different location. Like he went into a mission. Anyway, this is where that story begins. He was broke this whole time becoming a hitman. He got sick and tired of being a hitman. He's in a job. This guy was slowly trying to make it up. So, he's drinking, like alcoholic he is at the time because he's going through a lot. So, he sees this Los Angeles police department little thing. And by the way, don't worry about that. I don't got ads on my videos. I'm not like these other YouTubers. But when I get money, I'm gonna need to put ads on my videos because we need money. But I ain't gonna do that right now. Anyway, so he's talking to these people and these cops, and he wants to be let in. And he sooner or later got proved that he's with it. So he ends up meeting this girl. Now, fun fact. All I'm gonna say is this. Ooh, I want to say so much. All I'm gonna say is this girl was a special encounter. Just know that she's a special. Keep this girl in mind. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep this girl in mind. So anyway, this girl was a special encounter. Special encounter. And he ended up meeting her in a thing. Her eyes ain't normal because she ain't normal. So it's gonna play a big part. So he ends up meeting her. He ends up seeing her eyes, and he's a little scared because he never seen eyes like that. So he's just like, "Let me out," you know. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember this. Anyway, so he ends up going back to his house. He's training. We ain't gonna go through all that training and stuff. So right here, I had to change. I had to use a little voice changer. So cause I was the only one acting on this, so I had to like make my voice a little higher. Anyway, he ends up getting out. Walking. So a couple days later, he meets this girl, and this girl is very important. You know, she works for a lot of important people. You know, she's telling them to do stuff. You know, telling them to do a job. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they're talking back and forth. You know, really getting a feel, but she's very important. She low key works for the detective agency. You know, you're probably like, see, you're spoiling it. But there's so much to the story that's gonna be in the next. This really, your mind's gonna be blown. This is just the teaser. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, if you watch this whole thing, there's spoilers for all the next episode. So before you watch this, watch Ransom one, episode 2, episode 3, and I almost said 4, but I ain't come out. Make sure y'all watch these because there's spoilers. I should have told you that earlier, but I really spoil none, so we're good. Now he ends up getting the money, robbing the store. As you don't know, Tony Sanchez ain't the greatest guy, and he ends up seeing his billboard, his poster right there on the thing on the shelf, which you sooner or later see that he gets killed. Well, he don't get killed, but he ends up getting into a fight scene. He was in Ransom 3 in the Ransom 4 trailer. He wasn't in none of these ransoms because we want to slowly get. He was in Ransom 4 trailer. Anyway, the camera angle the camera work that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the epic scenes. Those are the cameras I'm really proud of. Is when the epic scenes hit. Now, you know, he's driving his that little drift that was very hard. It took a lot of takes. Anyway, he ends up flying off, and you see him, and the song's like, oh, you know that song, you know what I'm saying? So he ends up end up hitting that bang bang, you know what I'm saying, bang bang. So he ends up knocked out for a while. Sooner or later, boom. I don't know why I covered my eyes, covered the camera. Anyway, he ends up getting out. And by the way, this is actually 7 years after. I should put 7 years after. So their talkies end up having like back to back conversations from conversations he had in the past. And by the way, fun fact, you never really see his past. Not even in Ransom 3 Part 2. That wasn't really his past. We never really get deep in, and that's what we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. So we'll have to get deep in. He goes to this pound, and he ends up finding this bike. Now, how long is this? 7 minutes. We got an hour. So, he ends up finding himself over there, which he's key for at this point now. He gets that bike, and you know, he tested it out. You know, they told him like he's stealing it. Like that costs a lot of money. Anyway, he don't know what this red button do. He pushes it, flies. Now he's flying. Anyway, he finds the flying bike, and the story is about to the movie's about to end at this what episode, but then he ends up being caught on camera. Now, take mind to that, caught on camera. If you watch the third one, you'll know that there was a whole camera little scene right there where he's like camera. There's a camera scene at the beginning of the movie which he quotes. He quotes that at the beginning of Ransom 3. Anyway, he knocks him out, and right here he's end up getting the bike and getting that. Then he ends up having. By the way, I forgot half this stuff happened. Anyway, he's driving that new car. He's happy with his life. He's made it up in the world. This is like months after. He feels like he's made it up in the world. And now let's move on to the next movie. Now, Ransom 2, I feel as though it's a classic, just because this is when stuff got real. This is where the bond became strong between T Savage. This is the second one, Ransom meeting T Savage. I'm sorry, I gotta readjust my feet. My feet can't be stuck in a place for a long time. Anyway, this is how me and T Savage. This is the most popular one. This is the biggest one. The biggest one. All of them. So he meets T Savage. After all, he's like cop undercover, and he tries to bust him, and try to bust him, but he pulls out a gun on him. And what you don't know, T Savage is a local, drug dealer. He owns this operation, and an operation that T Savage and he started. You know, they started when they was younger, and ever since after he went to jail, he ended up leaving it low key, and he wanted to get back in just so he can get Tony Sanchez, and he knows getting what's it called, being friends with T Savage was the last thing he wanted to do, but that's something he had to do to get to Tony Sanchez. Tony Sanchez practically ended his career. Tony Savage murdered T Savage's family, but Tony Sanchez basically killed, you know, the main character's career, Nivlet's career. So he knew he had to be friends with T Savage to get to him because that's the only way he could get to him. At that point, he's not even worried about being friends with him. He just needs him. He's just using him just to get to Tony Sanchez. And low key, T Savage knows that, so he tries to back off. But he knows what he's doing. He knows where this is going. He knows that this ain't going to be the same rodeo. He knows that at this point he's using them. So it's a little hard for him to make friends. So you really gotta, try to get to know this guy. So he ends up kidnapping him and putting him in the car because the cops almost got him. Why he's in the car? He's taking him to this warehouse. This, well, not a warehouse, but this secret area so they could talk about things. They end up talking, then they end up, agreeing on some things, and they end up making a little deal, and you know, there's a scene that's very interesting, but he ends up saying, "I'm a police officer." There's like a little scene where he like has a little like outfit on, pretend like he's a secret agent. So Nicola is like, "Oh, so you secret agent?" Cause what he don't know is if T Savage was a secret agent, cause like Nivla's a secret agent, but if there's another secret agent, he's too afraid that they'll catch him trying to realize what he's doing, because Nivla, he's kind of like a spy. He's a double agent, cause the cops think he's about to try to you know, secretly find out what's going on, then, arrest T Savage. That's what they think he's trying to do. But deep down inside, he's literally trying to work with them to get to Tony Sanchez. So if Nivlad knows that there's another agent watching him, then his whole plan will be blown because he's not trying to catch him. He's not trying to arrest him. He's trying to get on his good side so he can catch Tony Sanchez. But the cops want him to catch him like instantly off the bat, but that's not what he's trying to do. You get what I'm saying? It's like a double agent thing. Like he's trying, you know, outplay the cops, but he works for the cops, so he gotta pretend like he's doing his job when he's trying to become with become like this crime team with T Savage. You know what I'm saying? So he can get to Tony Sanchez because he wants Tony Sanchez. Like he wants him dead. So he ends up finding a security guard, and the security guard deep down they know that he knows Tony Sanchez, and they don't want him ratting him out because that guard, works for T Savage, and he sends notes like he's low key watching him, but they think he knows too much at this point, so they try to get rid of him. Well, T Savage knows that he knows too much, so he helps him get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? So let's skip over. So he ends up showing him his house and stuff, and they end up talking. Then they end up getting some bikes, They end up doing these little missions, and these missions are to make Tony Sanchez mad, and they're stealing his money at this point. They're stealing his money, and deep down, Tony Sanchez don't like that. They're stealing his money, and they're doing all these tags and stuff by like stealing his money, collecting his packages, stealing his briefcases and stuff with all his money in it. And they're just doing this stuff to get him angry. And they hit up this local warehouse. And then Tony Sanchez knew they was gonna come. He knew that they was gonna come, so he kind of like plotted. And he sent some like robots, but they were like invisible robots to kill him. It was hard to believe. Nivlad didn't believe it, so he was like, huh, until they came out, and then they were like, just lining them up, and they ended up getting away with their life intact. But there was a little Fun fact: there was like a scene. I want to call it like a what is those things? Those what is those scenes called? Never seen, unseen scenes. Like, I guess. Next one. Deleted scenes. That's what they call it. So the next one, which is probably which is the third one. Now the thing is, this was the third one happened 2020. Happened this year. So the third one was recently. So third one, after they end up getting away with their life. But the deleted scene was when they get away. I couldn't fit that much. So you see them driving in the store, and this is where the scene comes, where, they go into the store. And as you know, he was like, don't, please make sure they don't catch me on camera, because they did on the first official one. He says don't cause any trouble because they're trying to be low key, but T Savage is hot headed, so you really don't listen. He's like the hot head. But Nivla is also like Nivla is like the calm, trying to keep him down person. He's like the main person, but T Savage is like the person that lose their man. But they're both crazy. But T Savage just got a hot head and he shows it more. But they're both deep down crazy. But they argue a lot. It's kind of like the problem. He takes out a person, assassinate a person, and T Savage was just on a job with him. So they end up arguing, and then they play a lot. Like he socks him, he got angry, so he's chasing him, and they get these cars that they bought, but they bought it from the Polar. Wait, what does that say? I didn't even have time to read that anyway. So they end up getting it from this like I want to say like it's a real sketchy place. So they end up getting a car from there, and they end up driving around, testing out, having races and stuff. They end up getting into this fight with this local gang, and the scene that was shot way before we even thought about making this movie. I just happened to put it in like they was, So they was talking, right, and they seen this car, and this car has a lot of value in it. So they start their first job, and the first job is to take out like half the people he's working for. You know what I'm saying? Just take out half. So you end up sniping them. Being and they're just shooting them, taking all their stuff away. Just take this is probably gonna be the shortest one of all of them. But they end up doing their job. Taking out, trying to make him mad, and they do these missions and this stuff. Do these missions, and they're finally getting to Tony Sanchez. So we're gonna skip up, skip up, skip up, skip up, skip up, skip up. Delete that. These are all my videos, by the way. All my videos. All my videos. Anyway. So this video got history to it. Kind of got a little something. So it starts. Let's rewind that all the way. 2010, Baldwin College. If you don't know, I was around 2010. I lived in Baldwin, so I thought it would be hard. I felt like add that in there. Anyway, I was born in Baldwin also. Anyway, they're walking, and, they're talking. That was his fat friend, his big boned friend. Alright, and I don't know why I edited that in there like that. I don't mean that. But they end up talking. They're in the, he ended up saying he's on a track. He wanted to be a track person, so he's just testing it out. And then T Savage is new at the school, Then they end up fighting. And they end up and then yeah. So they end up having a little fighting scene. They end up fighting again. But there's no dialogue, so I don't even have to lower the volume. Anyway, they end up going to this party. And after they got sent out of the principal's office, after they fought twice they end up becoming cool, So they end up going to this little party, and they're just talking, enjoying their life. And then, oh snap! I do not got the corona, I promise. So I gotta skip to the break point. Anyway, so fast forward 10 years later, and he's driving, enjoying himself. By the way, this is the present at this point. So this is after This is after they did them jobs, trying to take out Tony Sanchez, trying to ruin his business. Because that's what they were doing at this point. They were ruining his business. So this is fast forward, you know. He's trying to be low key, so he works at this little thing trying to get information from this guy. And you see this rapper, and this rapper is not even important to the story, but we just added it because I thought it would be amazing. But um, his bodyguard just was talking, just yeah, like weird arms, like can describe him. Ashy arm looking boy, skeleton arms looking boy, skeleton muscle looking boy. Sorry. He's ended up taking his bottle, and he ends up watching all this stuff happen, and you know, he sees him walk away, and he noticed that whatever was going on there ain't right. So there's this guy in the mags that keeps attacking this man. Hurries up again to this car. Yeah. This guy with the mags just keep on coming after him. And they do their little turn, which I found was sick when I did that. Anyway, they're doing this little goose chase. If you wonder why I'm skipping, just watch the whole thing. Yeah, there's some no weird stuff, but I'm not saying I swear. Like if that's what y'all want to do it. I mean, do it. I'm just saying, but that's not me. Anyway, this. What am I talking about? Let's get back into it. I'm not saying I'm doing I no, but if that's what y'all want to do, that ain't what I do. But if that's what y'all want to do, but I found. Well, I need to stop talking because I'm making myself sound stupider. Anyway, they end up going after each other, having that iconic crash. Coming the guy in the max, just pushing him back, and he's not trying to go back. And as soon as he pulls out the gun, he's like, "Oh wow!" He steps on that gas, just pushes him out, and he knows that if he stay in that car, then there's could be a lot of damage. If he just boom boom, you know what I'm saying, stab his neck. Anyway, he jumps out the car, and then he hits that ground, and then this whole most of the movie, he's just trying to find out who this Mags guy is, trying to kill him. So he hops on that truck, and he's just shooting, and there's a lot of explosions happening, and I felt like this was a very iconic moment. He ends up losing him. So this guy pulls up next to him. Come on, give me a minute. Anyway, hold on, give me one more minute. Ooh, oh my god. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Oh my god, there's something wrong with my throat. Anyway, so he ends up meeting the Mags guy, and sorry, there's something wrong with my voice. I'm so sorry, my voice went away again. Anyway, they end up fighting, and they end up doing this little fighting scene with the guy with the Mags, and yeah, oh my god, there's something seriously wrong with my voice. They end up fighting, and we're gonna skip, and he made a deal with that Mags dude, thinking that he was gonna catch that guy finally. So he made a deal, and the Mags guy, he had his Mags on when he made the deal, and he ended up taking it off, and the Mags guy ended up knowing it was him, and he ended up getting away, and now he's looking at all these papers on the board that's trying to figure out how we gonna catch him, where he's at, where he gonna be at, and all that stuff. Figuring out who is this Mag guy, what is he doing, what is all this stuff leading to, how am I gonna catch him? And the scene that I'm gonna just, because this is an iconic scene, by the way. I really feel this scene. I really feel this scene. The scene I feel. If we have voice actors, I have voice actors, so I have to, write it down. So, this is, they end up fighting on this train, and the Mags guy end up leading them to this signature, factory. And this is where the scene hits it off. And I'm looking at this factory place, this factory type of place, and This is a perfect ending place for a franchise. Perfect ending place for a franchise. Like, this factory place is just so amazing. Like, just hold on. Just where's that scene? Where's my favorite scene? Like, it's the part where he has a shotgun in his hand. He's just looking out like like it's just a horror all around scene. And my voice is slowly coming back. So he ends up seeing this whole thing. Not many people know what this billboard scene means, but yeah, it's something. It's this billboard scene is something that we want to get into. Like when ransom, this ain't something that you're gonna figure out in the next ransom. I don't think. Probably gonna figure out what this billboard means in the last ransom, but this billboard means a lot. And I know you're like, stop spoiling it, stop spoiling it. So that's the little factory where. So this is the factory where it ends at. You see the little up view of it, and this is probably the best view ever. Look at that view. Look at that view. It's just something about that low view where it just stares up at the factory that just like, homie, like, I don't know. Anyway, they end up, having this little scene where he like searches up for him and just got a shotgun prepared, got to reload it and everything, and they got this signature scene. And by the way, I did not get this from Michael, the GTA 5. Like, I completely forgot that when you kill Michael, this exists. But I just realized it existed. So they're fighting at the very top, and we just need somewhere like the highest place to fight. He ended up falling off. Boom, smacks to his death. Anyway, he smacks to his death. I was giving a zoom up of him, just like no, like he ain't want to have to kill him, but he had to, and he did it for a reason. Like if you watch Ransom, was it part two? I think it was part two. He ended up saying while he was in his house, I don't trust him, and he had to kill him because he didn't trust him. If you watch Ransom 2 where they was at that house scene, you'll see him going downstairs and he went to that part room like, I don't trust him. So he ended up killing him. And years ago, this lady, I ain't gonna tell you who this is, cause he ends up wanting to revenge. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you who it is. That was his sister. That was his sister, and he wanted to revenge his death. Well, no, that wasn't his sister. No, the other girl was his sister. No, that was his girl. That was his girlfriend. So his girl, if you don't know, his girl really don't make appearance in this, but his girl ended up wanting to revenge his boyfriend's death, and there was we didn't want to show him with his girlfriend for a reason. Reason we didn't want to show him what his girlfriend is because there's gonna be a prop like a line. There's gonna be a whole situation why you don't see her. There's just know there's a reason why you don't see her in the last ransoms or any ransom like that. Just know there's a reason. We're gonna get into that when Ransom 4 come out. Make sure you watch it. Anyway, so he's chasing after, and she knows that he killed him. She knows that he killed him just the way. So and then she knows everything that happened with their whole situation. Anyway, she ended up going after him to try to kill him. He ended up trying to escape, but we both know that ain't gonna happen. And she ended up chasing after him, just walking like she knows she's gonna kill him. It's one of those moments that she's walking bad, like I'm gonna kill you. Just know you ain't going away. Like you can run, but you can't hide. And she ended up pulling out that gun. You know what time it is. Anyway, he ended up trying to hide, and she ended up trying to go through that door, and she's trying to look. She can't find him because he secretly ran out the back. You know, so he ends up making his way downstairs, and that little Chiefs guy, thinking he's about to leave. Guess who's right there? Her. She's right there, and he all like acting funny, like like you ain't about to do nothing, like you ain't about that life. And by the way, he knows his girlfriend too, so he knows that there's a passport to him. Fast forward to him. By the way, he looked weird in that, wearing that. We'll see. She ended up shooting him, getting him a couple times, hitting him, and He ends up looking away. And by the way, I got that little camera angle from Red Dead Redemption 2. That Arthur Morgan dying scene was amazing, and that was also a signature scene out of this whole franchise when he stick his arms up in the air after that. I thought that was pretty funny, so I just left it in there. Like I could have just panned the camera somewhere else when that happened and panned it back, but I thought that would be funny, so I left it in. Anyway, she's all shooting him. You can see you can see her shooting the life out of his body, and then at this point you can see like just blood flying up, just to make the scene more. We wanted to take him out like legendarily, like legendary. I can't believe I said legendarily. And it ends with her riding in the sunset. Well, not riding in the sunset, but riding in the rain on her motorcycle. And that's how it ends. Okay, that's how the franchise ends for now. So everybody know that she probably gonna be the main protagonist of the next one, of the next Ransom. People are saying that y'all are right. And this whole franchise got a whole story to it. We're gonna edit it. And when 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, because we doing that till we get to 10, baby. So when those come out, just know that it's gonna be banger. It's gonna be banger after banger after. Wait, hold on. Banger after banger. Wait, hold on. Okay, we're back. It's gonna be banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. Keep giving bangers. It's gonna be like the Fast and Furious franchise, but more funniness, more energy. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I wanted to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.